Castle Morne, an imposing castle found in the southernmost tip of the Weeping Peninsula. It is overrun by demi-humans in a bloody revolt against their masters. And in today's video, I'm going to rate its defensibility on a scale of 10. Hi everybody, I'm Rrash, and welcome to another video where I rate yet another Elden Ring castle. The response on the last video where I gave a rating to Stormveil was phenomenal. And if you haven't seen that one yet, just click on the icon right there. The video is third on the channel and the like to view ratio is insane. So thanks a lot for that. I said I'm going to do another one if I got 100 likes, and well, it did get 100 likes, so here I am. Again, make sure to drop a like on this one as well if you want more. There are still a lot of castles to go through in this game. So, let's up the challenge a bit more this time. If this video gets 200 likes, I'll do another castle review. So drop a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Now, let's start with a little reminder of the rules to follow when approaching this review. First, any ruined parts of the castle will be judged as if they're not. Second, I'm going to judge the castle and how defensive it is in relation to real medieval castles, and how would it fare against an assault from a medieval force. Because again, in this Elden Ring world, all you have to do is befriend a few dragons, I guess, and you'll successfully impregnate every castle in this world. As for the third rule, as always, I dedicate 3 points for the location, 3 for the layout, and 4 for the general defenses. Starting with the location, as you can see, most of the castle is built atop a giant rock. Only the main gate and a few towers reside on flat ground that's level with the rest of the terrain. In front of the castle we have flat terrain, but in every other direction it is surrounded by water. Couple that with the sheer height of this rock and the fact that the castle resides on top of it, we can be sure that no real threat will come from the sides or the back. This location is great. A castle on top of a big rock is as good as it gets. And don't worry about the lack of natural barriers in the front here. We'll talk about how that doesn't really matter when we get to the defenses. So, let's give this location a 3 out of 3. Now for the layout. Well, there's really not much to talk about here. It's literally one bailey, that's it. And there's no main keep, it's just a courtyard surrounded by a bunch of buildings and towers. Now, this isn't inherently flawed. While it doesn't have multiple baileys and gatehouses leading to each of these baileys, all of which allow for the ability to have layered defenses, taking into account the location of the castle and its defenses, it really doesn't need a complicated and confusing layout, and the fact that it has only one bailey is not detrimental to the castle, especially considering that there is no straightforward way for an enemy to get inside or atop any of these buildings. The only way out of this courtyard is some ladders. We have a ladder here in this area, and if we go inside this building, well, this may seem like a weakness, but this entrance doesn't lead to the rest of the buildings. We go inside, there's a staircase here that leads outside to a ledge, and then we have another ladder here to access the rooftops. So I have 2 ways to get to the top. Both are ladders which you can just remove. So anyone that gets here is trapped, and they'll be shot at from the top until they all die in a bloodbath. So I'd still give this layout a 3 out of 3. As for the defenses, let's start at the first gatehouse. It's a pretty good gatehouse, 2 towers with amazing battlements. They even have arrow slits in them. Don't let this fool you, as I said in the Stormveil review, there are no real functional matriculations in this entire game. These are just decorative overhangs. We also have some arrow slits in the towers themselves, a standard little rampart in between, and a portcullis. If the enemy manages to get through the first gatehouse, they're in for a serious bloodbath. We got a bit of a death zone over here. Because of the ramparts and hoardings up top, they will be overwhelmed with arrows, rocks, and God knows what. Granted that this entrance over here is sealed, otherwise they could take cover in there. But if you've explored this castle, you'll know that this is as far as any enemy assaulting this castle could possibly get. First, we have another portcullis here, and beyond that, there is literally an elevator that goes several feet upwards. So all that has to be done on the part of the defenders is raise it, or straight up cut the chains. Absolutely no medieval force can get up there. This should be enough to give a 4 out of 4 for the defenses and a 10 out of 10 for this amazing castle, but I'm going to continue nonetheless. If by some miracle a force of about 10 men was to be let in and sneak their way up the elevator, because I don't think that wooden elevator could hold any more than 10 soldiers, they will be met with another gatehouse and they will be perfectly positioned in another death zone to be slaughtered in a bloodbath. What's that you say? They managed to get through the gatehouse somehow? Well, another bloodbath is awaiting them in this courtyard. Because as I said before, they can be shot at from atop all of these battlements surrounding the courtyard, and the only way out of it is some ladders. I don't think I need to say anything else. The castle clearly deserves nothing less than a 10 out of 10. The location is the best, the layout complements said location and the defenses brilliantly, and frankly, this castle doesn't even need the gatehouse below. One more detail to address is these structures behind the castle. They may be a weakness in the castle design at first glance if the castle was to be attacked from the sea, but that's not really the case, because these structures are not connected to the castle in any straightforward way. These structures are here solely for game level design. If you've explored the castle, you'll know that the way to get here is by hopping on top of this tower and then down these rocks. There are no secret entrances as far as I know, so no enemy can really get up there. They have to get ladders or something, and even in that case, it's easily defendable. But yeah, that's the review for Castle Morne. This one was a bit shorter because the castle was smaller. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and again, make sure to like and subscribe. I've been Rrash, and I'm out of here.